is here for you.
It's Our Town at WTBQ Warwick, WGHT Pompton Lakes, being brought to you by Mill Spa Furniture this morning. And along with Taylor Sterling and Neil Sinclair, it's one of our favorite mornings because we get to talk plumbing this morning.
Yeah.
Well, we're doing more than that. We have Paul Nebrasky from Nebrasky Plumbing and Heating on, and actually they do furnace cleaning too. Because I made an appointment to have them come out and clean the furnace.
I was going to do that myself.
Yeah, sure.
Really, Frank? All right, good. I heard you fixed your toilet the other day.
Yeah.
A little birdie told me you're a plumber now.
Wow. I did, yeah.
Yeah, you fixed it.
I fixed my toilet.
It doesn't work.
Are you okay?
Well, yeah, because everything I needed snapped right on, so that was good. I didn't need any tools.
Oh, that was the one in the other house.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, so I can retire now and
I can.
Frank can take
that's
over?
it.
Oh, I
If
wouldn't
you-
suggest that.
If you ever get a call for somebody needing a new flapper in their toilet, I'm your guy.
You're the guy.
All right, you got it.
I'll come
Flapper
over to-
Frank. It
I'm
really
Flapper.
goes together.
It does.
Listen, Flapper Frank, I need one in the bathroom downstairs.
You need more
Yeah,
than a
flapper,
flapper and
Frank.
anything.
Well, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Hi, Paul.
So tell them what
hey,
we're
Neil.
doing this morning, Paul.
Do we really want to talk about
Yes,
that?
we
today?
do.
All
We
right.
do. And I'm
So,
going to tell my story first.
you're going to tell your story first on my 20 minutes.
Well, because I want to see if your brother beats me.
Okay, fine. So
This ought to be
we put it
interesting.
out on the internet. I wanted everybody's funniest, most outrageous, horrifying bathroom stories.
And keep it clean.
And I had to keep it clean. I said it was PG-13.
Yeah.
Now, we would have a lot of stories today, but we're not a nighttime show, and it's not the Dr. Ruth show. All right? So we only have the clean stories today.
PG.
Clean-
But Paul did tell me off air that there's a ton of
stories.
that take place in the bathroom.
Well,
so to
I'm going to
speak.
quickly
Mile High
tell you
Club.
this story for Frank's 60th birthday.
All right, so you're going first.
Okay, I'm
right.
doing because I want to see if anybody
we
can
starting?
top
She's
it.
got a
You starting
porta potty story.
Oh my God, Frank!
I
wait a
got
minute.
lots of porta potty
Oh no,
stories.
I
this
got
one,
one too.
this one will beat
That's cheating,
everybody.
Paul.
So it's Frank's surprise birthday party. He has no clue. This is when he was 60 years old, and our bathroom here froze up, so they had to bring a porta potty. And I never used a porta potty. I refused to ever use them. But as the hour is getting near that we have to leave, I'm thinking if I don't go now, when we get there, I won't be able to do the surprise because I got to go so bad. So I thought, okay, I'm going. Now it's dark out, right? And I walk into the porta potty and I sit down, and all of a sudden I hear something on the floor, and I realize that the idiot before me put the seat down in the porta potty, and I'm urinating on top of the seat. And it is flowing everywhere. And I'm like, oh, I start to scream. I run out of there. I come in here and I look at Frank and I go, do you see any urine on me? He goes, why? Do you want some? What is it?
Frank's dream came true.
That's
Oh, my
exactly what I
God.
said.
Oh,
All right,
exactly.
so that's a good one, but I think we got better ones
Okay.
from our customers, and there's something about when you want bathroom stories, all your friends and relatives call you with their bathroom stories,
Oh, yeah.
and I can't figure out why, but they all did. All right, so my brother calls me up, and he was on the show with me a couple months ago, and he was in the Navy at the time, so they were at dry dock and cleaning the ship, and there was problems with the bathrooms. So they put all the porta potties on the ship for all the sailors, 1,000 sailors on the ship. And the only way they can clean them was they had to crane them on and off the ship to get them onto the ship. So one morning, my brother wakes up really early. It's still dark out, goes in the porta potty, and he's doing his business. Number two, he's doing his business and relaxing. And next thing you know, they hook the hook to the porta potty. And
Okay,
they
no.
start,
You win.
right,
Ding, ding,
and
ding,
they
ding, ding.
start lifting the porta potty off the ship. He, with his knees down,
He
with-
wins.
with his knees, with his pants down to his knees. He rolls out of the porta potty. Okay, can you
Oh, my
imagine the
God.
crane operator laughing and telling that story on the other side?
Okay, that one won.
Yeah,
All right.
that one.
That
So
was
if
pretty rough.
Families and friends couldn't win. I think
my
he would win.
God.
He would win the
You win that
contest.
story.
Absolutely.
I actually, I have a porta potty story there too, because we were at a concert over in up in Port Jervis. They put concerts on some farm up there for a while, and they had all these porta potties. And at the end of the concert, these things got to be pretty full because they were being used the whole event. So on the way out, everybody's kind of been drinking and everything too. So they're going out. One of these guys' buddies, there's a whole row of these porta potties. One of the guys goes to use one of the porta potties, gets in, closes the door, and his buddies come by and go, hey, this would be funny. And they go and they just tip the thing right over.
Oh my God!
And all I can hear is splash. And you could just, and at the time it was kind of horrendous, but I just couldn't stop laughing for like 3 hours.
I'm sorry,
this poor
Paul's brother
guy.
still wins.
Can you imagine by the time they got this guy out of the door what he must have looked like?
I wonder whose car he went in.
You know, and my first plumbing job, the rite of passage was they would let you go to the porta potty and they would back the truck up against the door during the summer and not let you out. That was one, that was the initiation into my first
Nasty.
plumbing job.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Well, your brother so far is the winner.
Yeah, I think.
All right, and then so Neil, you don't have a story?
not even close to those stories. Not even close.
No, all right, your stories are the ones we can't tell on the air.
No. That's
right,
my
all right.
stories. I go in, I pee, and I leave.
All right,
That's pretty much it.
all right, all right.
But
Now,
Neil is boring.
Neil definitely doesn't. Neil
boring.
definitely
but
doesn't. win.
Neil owns more bathrooms than we all do, though.
Oh yeah. How many bathrooms in your house?
8.
Oh jeez.
Neil, I'm a plumber and you beat me.
Well,
A lot of peeing
I'll be
there.
calling you, Paul.
All right, all right. Next contest is who has the most bathrooms in their house.
Oh, who's going to beat Neil?
Who's
Nobody
gonna
can beat Neil.
Who's gonna
Well,
beat
let me
Neil?
open up the lines now. 845-651-1110, or in New Jersey, you are eligible. 973-839-1100. If you got a story that could, well, I don't know. We don't have to beat your brother's story because he's not eligible.
Right, and I got a bunch of stories that
All
people
right, so we're
emailed
going to
me here
let
too.
Paul continue to tell the other stories, but if you have one you think that'll win,
Yeah, give us a call. And,
Give us a call.
A Visa card.
and tickets.
And
It's free money.
PG-13. It's a morning show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. So
well, we can beep you out.
all right.
so.
All right. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you my first story. All right,
Okay.
and then we'll go with mine, and then we'll go with some of the customers.
Okay.
So mine is funny because about 5 years ago, we were in Florida, my son and I, and he wanted to go to Cape Canaveral. excuse me, to see Cape Canaveral, which if you ever been in Florida, is a wonderful place to
It's
go.
incredible.
It's incredible, and they have an IMAX theater there. So we get in and we look at the schedule, and it says new 3D movie on the space shuttle. My son, being 15 at the time, said, "That's a great thing, Dad. I want to go see that." So we rush over there. But me being me, the whole ride over there, I had to go to the restroom, but we had to get over there to get seats. And we all know if you had that dome theater, you don't want to be in the front seat.
No,
you get
can't
car
see-
sick in that
yeah,
front seat.
Exactly.
But we get there, and all that's left is the front seat. And I'm still have to go to the bathroom. So there's a gentleman standing up front, and I walk up to him and I say, "Do you know where the bathroom is?" And I'm sorry. I said, "Do you work here?" And he answers me, "Kind of." Now I'm dying to go to the bathroom here. I'm already mad that I'm in the front seat.
What does
and-
kind of mean? It's either yes or no.
Right. So I ask him again nicely, and me being a New Yorker, I start to get rude with him. Now listen, buddy, do you work here or not? I just want to know where the bathroom is. He goes, I already told you I kind of work here, and I don't know where the bathroom is. I'm like, okay.
Kind of work there?
Right.
What
And
does
I'm
that
mad.
mean?
I'm literally mad. And I'm mad about him in the front seat. I'm mad that, so I
I know
go-
where this is going.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah, I think Frank's
think
got
so.
it. So I
Yep.
go, I actually find a bathroom, make it back 10 seconds before the show starts. I sit in my front seat. The gentleman's literally only 2 feet in front of me. The lady comes on to say, "We're about to tell you about the space shuttle, but today we have a special guest."
An
astronaut
Yep, that's
Scott
what I thought.
Kelly of the space station. And I didn't know who Scott Kelly was at the time till like 5 years later. He went up to,
my God.
okay. So meanwhile, I'm literally, you guys aren't looking at I'm literally as far from his as I am from Taylor right now. I am
Great.
slumping in my seat, my hands over the eyes. He gives me the dirtiest freaking look that I've ever seen in my life. I don't even know what happened to the space shuttle thing.
Oh my
because-
God, that's hysterical.
That's good.
Wow.
So-
Did you know that, Frank?
Yeah.
That's where he was
Okay,
going?
That's
You
where I thought I was going
win.
to say.
All
The
right,
guy's probably an astronaut.
All right.
Oh, that's great.
That's great. That's a great story.
So that's number one. That's my story. I got some
love
porta
it.
potty stories of myself. You know, I grew up in bathrooms, so I can
Obviously.
But the show's not about me. It's about having let the people answer. So
Come on, people. If you want to see, maybe they think they can't beat these stories.
well,
it's gonna be tough.
I'm going to give you a good one from.
All right.
I got a couple good ones for some of the customers that called in to me.
All right, so these people are eligible.
Oh, these people are eligible. This is one of my favorites right here.
Okay.
And this is from Ellen, one of my great customers who's from Goshen. So she wrote me 3 pages.
Oh,
all right.
Jesus.
So I'm going to paraphrase it just a little bit. I'm sorry, Ellen, but she was very detailed in the story. So she took a road trip to Massachusetts to go see her cousin who's from Arizona, who was staying in Massachusetts. She got about 3.5 hours away. She lives in Goshen, and she stopped at a rest area and had to go to the restroom, obviously. Fills her car up with gas, locks the door, leaves her pocketbook and her cell phone in the car. Now, I don't know if that was a great thing. Goes, does her business in the bathroom, stands up, and her key fob goes flying up in the air and falls in the toilet. So now she's trying to decide, do I put my hand in there and get my key?
Well, you have paper towels. So put your hand in the paper towels and grab your key.
Well, yes.
Either way.
And while she's thinking about that, she's like, well, I'm going to have to. The toilet had an automatic flush. And flushes down her key fob. So now she can't get in her car. She has no pocketbook. She has no cell phone. All right.
But at least she went to the bathroom.
At least she didn't have to go to the bathroom, right? So she works back into the plaza and goes to the McDonald's.
Oh, my
And
gosh.
she's pleading with everybody. And they're like, there's not a plumber in the state of Massachusetts who's going to find that key fob for you. It's long gone.
It's gone.
Oh, yeah.
It's gone. So she has to call her husband. Now, I don't know what I would do if I get this call. He has to drive 3.5. He has to come home from work
Listen,
early.
what about the automobile club or something, or gas station, or anything?
I don't know if
Well,
they
you need
can
a
open with
key.
these key fobs anymore.
They're
probably
specific to
not.
that car, and they're like $100 and more for those keys.
no, it's
Oh,
like
they're about
500
$250. I've had
Yeah.
to buy some for my truck.
They
Yeah.
rip us off big on
Oh,
this
big
stuff.
time.
Right, and it's
Big time.
different than having the old key. The key fob start, you have to have it. So
Right.
even if they got her in her door, it didn't do
You
anything.
can't start the car.
Right.
So her husband has to leave work early, go back to Goshen. I'm not sure where you get the key, and drive 3.5 hours to Massachusetts with the key.
I would have just mailed it. Say, good luck.
Yes, you would have.
And they're still married?
I wouldn't be. I mean, I guess I wouldn't be if I didn't show up. But
Yeah.
I don't think there's a judge in the country that would have sided with the woman.
yeah. And,
Oh, my God.
Right. So I that was one of my favorite stories.
Oh,
from
that is
you know,
incredible.
so and then. Okay, so now we'll give you one more, and we got a couple more. I guess we can do a longer show on this.
Yes.
This is one that actually happened in my office, and again, you met Eileen last night.
Yes.
My accounting manager.
Not his wife is different. Somebody.
Yeah, it's not good to have your accounting manager and your wife named Eileen, because it's just not good.
Confusing.
It's very confusing. All right, and
You might have made a mistake with that one, Paul. Too many Eileens.
Neil, I don't know what to tell you.
And I'm not saying which one. I'm just saying.
Did you change your air filter? Okay. All right.
Of course, you know I did.
All right. So this is
Way to change the subject.
exactly.
I'm an almoner.
All right. So I walk in the office, and I come back from lunch, and all I see is everybody standing. Eileen actually wrote this, but I'm gonna paraphrase it the way I saw it. Everybody around a woman's bathroom door. I see the whole office staff, and they're all laughing, and I see my construction manager, Kevin, who you met last night too,
Right.
with a hammer and screwdriver. So it turns out Eileen, after lunch, went to the restroom, locked the door, and the door got stuck.
Can't get out.
And she couldn't get out. Now, meanwhile, everybody's in their office. She said she was knocking on the door for like minutes, and nobody
Nobody
let her
heard
out.
her.
So she's stuck in the bathroom, and and we are just rolling laughing. So first, everybody had a laugh, and then I walk in, and I'm like, "Is anybody answering the phones? Like, what is this stuck in the bathroom?" It took Kevin a half hour to get him out because we have commercial steel doors.
Oh, geez.
All right.
Even on the bathroom doors?
Yeah, and it was the funniest thing.
Oh,
at
my
least in
God.
her office, and I told her, since she's the accounting manager, I'm like, well, you can't pay this person for a half hour. I don't pay people for trying to bust you out of the bathroom, right? So meanwhile, smart enough, Wendy takes a picture of all this. All right.
I love
Hi,
it.
Wendy. I hope you're listening today, also. And
Wendy.
Wendy takes a picture of this and puts it on Facebook. That post got more likes and more comments than any post I can put
I
on.
love
I can give
it.
away free stuff.
That's fantastic.
So that was a funny office one, and so everybody has stories. Unfortunately, I guess we're almost out of time here, Frank. Right?
No, we got
Well,
time.
you got as much time as you want there,
I'm
Paul.
wondering if people heard the stories and they're afraid to call because they're not as funny.
Oh, I got to think about it too, yeah.
So far, your brother's the winner.
Yeah, so far he is. 845-651-1110 or New Jersey, 973-839-1100. We got a Visa gift card, and I have tickets to either Dover, to the Speedway, the NASCAR race, or tickets to a show in New York City to throw in. So don't be afraid. Maybe your story is funnier.
Oh, it could be, and I'll give you one more of mine.
Okay.
And
You have to choose.
Yeah, I'm going to have to choose, and I got a bunch more here. But again, it needs to be a late night show, not a morning show, to use these. All right.
Can you paraphrase some of them?
Bleep. You go
Are
bleep.
we? Anybody ever hear the Mile High Club?
Yes, we
Everybody
have.
ever been to college?
Yes.
Okay, a lot of things go on in college bathrooms because that I never knew.
Well, because it's the only private place you have at college.
I'm sorry you never knew that, Paul.
I didn't get to go to college, so I didn't know.
You miss out on a lot.
Then I made the mistake last night asking my wife if these stories are true that happen in college bathrooms. I'm like, you know what? I don't want to know honey, what happened when you were in
Don't
college.
tell
Yeah,
me.
you don't want that answer.
Yeah, I don't want that answer.
All right, go ahead, tell the next
All right,
story.
I'll tell one that I actually told people I tell on the internet. So, in 2006, when I was at the Jet playoff game, I know that's a weird word to say, Jets in playoffs.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's an oxymoron.
It might have
isn't
been 7.
Were you dreaming?
I was dreaming, and that's when cell phones were new. And we used to use Nextels. So the day before Friday night, I got myself a new Nextel, my first new phone. I paid $799 for
Well,
it.
now they're $1,200.
Right, but that was back
Nice.
when they didn't subsidize the phones for you.
Right.
Right.
So I paid full price for the phone. I had this fancy new phone. So I get invited to the Jet game by my friend Roger McKelvey, and we're at the Jet game, and we've all been at Jet games, and they have all the porta potties there because people are drinking like 6 hours before they.
Oh,
get
yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I wait online, and I get on the line, and I have this big heavy coat on. It was at the end of January. I lift my coat up to unstrap my pants to go to the bathroom, and my cell phone, like this lady's key fob, goes up in the air. I go to catch it with frozen things, and boom, right in the middle of a full porta potty. As you know what the full porta potties were, right? And so I'm looking at my cell phone. I paid $800 with no insurance the day before, saying, "Am I going to get this thing, or am I not going to get this thing?"
And
No way. there was not a way. And I
Not
saw
enough money in the world.
yeah,
there was
apparently.
not enough money in the world. There was more plumbing jobs coming up. So, right. And then I'm like, so now I'm trying to figure out, do I go to the bathroom over my $800 cell phone? Right. I'm like, do I make it even worse?
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus,
Right?
that's funny.
So so that's
I
my.
always see, this is what I think of paper towels. Paper towels.
All right, so first of all,
in a
you-
porta potty?
In a
Good
porta
luck.
potty,
No.
you're lucky if you have toilet paper in a porta
Right.
potty.
Oh,
I know you
please.
don't go in. But number
No,
two
I
is,
do not.
if you ever been to a concert or a football game and have to use a porta potty, the line behind you is about 40 people
Yeah.
long.
Oh, that's
if
true.
you take any more than 2 minutes, they are banging on the door. I mean,
Yeah,
so
they want to
it's
get in
crazy.
there, you know. But that's, you know, and that's the. Do you want to take that phone and put it up on your face after you're done? You know, and
Yeah,
say,
that's true.
"Hello, are you there?" You know.
Yeah. So
I'm getting a little
Never
ill.
mind.
So either way, that's my porta potty story, and you know, it was fun. We had a really fun time. People still make fun of it.
I love it.
with
That's
me,
a great
and-
story.
But we do wind up using a lot of porta potties in our life. If you go to sporting events,
me.
races, anything you go to, you
I'll
know,
hold
pretty
it in
much.
forever.
Guys don't care. You know, it's
I
like you're just
know.
going to go in, out, done, finish.
Well,
That's
you
it.
can go behind a tree.
Well, if they had trees there too, that doesn't matter. You know.
Let me ask you a really stupid question. Did the Jets win?
What do you think?
That is a really stupid question.
Yeah.
They didn't win it. I had nobody call the tell either because I had no phone. So it was really good. There was no problem. It was like the quiet.
Some things never change.
Yeah, back then I was taking phone calls, so no customers were able to get in touch with me. So it was a very unprofitable day in Nebrasky plumbing
Yes,
that
it
day.
was.
Besides $800 and
All right, who are we going to make the winner? Because I think those stories are going to top anybody who was going to
Yeah,
call
those are
in.
pretty darn good stories.
So I got a few emails with people, and I realized there's nowhere near as good as these stories.
Oh, and I got more stories in here too. And again, Neil, I'm sorry. You know, we're keeping it PG-13. I knew you wanted to hear the other ones.
I
but,
did.
You
Oh,
know,
You know,
me
I haven't
too.
heard of Frank's Follies in a number of weeks now.
I know, he's
so I
having
figured, Paul,
withdrawal.
you'd make up for that today, but that's not going to happen.
you know, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, we can do a little bleeping.
No.
I'll go beep.
Well, listen, folks, we're going to let Paul tell us the story after we get off the mic.
No, all right. But anyway,
Who do you want? Can we have a drum roll here? Because then we're going to hear who the winner is.
So I feel the winner is my customer from Goshen, Ellen,
Yeah,
who made
that
her
was a
husband drive
That's
3.5
true. Nobody
hours.
is gonna be-
Absolutely.
I agree.
You know, I agree.
Actually, we should give it to her husband for driving the
Yeah,
3.5
that's right.
hours.
That's right.
we should absolutely give it to her husband.
Her husband's my hero.
All right, so absolutely.
So, Ellen, if you're listening, what's her husband's name? We don't even know.
Oh, now you're getting me in trouble.
All right, Ellen, if you're listening, 845-651-1110. Tell us your husband's name. He has won the gift card.
Yep.
And possibly tickets to somewhere else. So
Right. Well,
make sure
and-
you
and
call in.
Absolutely deserves a gift card. He probably spent more in gas getting there.
That's for sure.
So talking about toilets, Paul, what is a good? I know it's expensive a lot of times to get a plumber to come in and do your toilet over. What's a good What is a good type of a system to put inside the tank? Is there one better than the other, or do you those off-the-shelf things good?
Not, believe it or not, Frank, it really hasn't changed for 50 years, the systems. I mean, now they don't use that ball that's inside the tank. They use a cylinder. But there's not a great system inside the tank either way.
All right, what were you going to tell me about the hot water pressure?
So that was a great question. So Taylor said to me today when we got in, it takes forever for my hot water to get to my sink. And the problem we have is what we call hot water recirculation. If you're most likely in your house, your hot water heater is the furthest away from the sink.
It is.
And yeah, in her case, it's like it's the next zip code. Wait, but before you go into that,
absolutely.
Paul, I got some young lady on the phone by the name of Erin. Your winner?
Ellen.
Ellen.
Maybe Aaron's her husband.
Ellen, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Is it Ellen?
Ellen, yes.
Yeah. Frank doesn't know how to. He's worse than me.
Hey,
Right,
Ellen,
letter.
it's Paul. They want to give the prize to your husband for picking you up.
Yeah,
This
you're
is
not eligible.
ridiculous.
You're
I'm
not-
the one that went through this traumatic
Yeah,
experience.
but you caused it, so you're not eligible.
Did you hear my porta potty story when you got your keys out of the porta potty?
No.
Maybe better that way. What's your husband's name?
His name is Jeff.
All right, Jeff, you are the winner.
Jeff. Wow.
Yes. It actually, there are so many more details that make this story even more absurd.
Tell
but
us. No, tell us this story. Yeah, tell us something else.
He had, he was actually in a brace because he had tricep surgery, or actually bicep surgery,
Oh, my
tricep surgery.
God.
And so he couldn't drive. So my son was in high school. They had to pull him out of school
gee.
to have
my
him
God.
This story's just
come
getting
home
worse.
to get the fob to drive Jeff to Natick, Massachusetts.
Oh my God.
Yes,
That's
and I did
unbelievable.
call AAA, and AAA couldn't service me because it was a state turnpike, so you have to go through
Oh, my
the
God.
state police. So they were able to at least unlock the car, but then
A lot
of
of
course,
good that did you.
yeah, that got me my cell phone at least.
Yeah, oh.
And then, of course, my husband is saying, well, you have to call, it was a Mini Cooper, so he was saying, you have to call Mini and have them bring you a fob. And
How about
Minnie
Mickey?
said,
Can we call Mickey too?
they won't do it.
Wow. Wow.
Oh,
So,
my
yeah, it was
God.
a disaster.
Did
but
your
it was-
sister at least
story.
come
Worked
visit
out
you?
in the
Did
end.
you get some company there? Did your sister at least come visit you?
Yes. My cousin came
cousin, I'm sorry.
and rescued me, so I didn't have to sit in McDonald's for 3.5 hours.
Oh,
but the
my
people at the
goodness.
rest stop were very, very accommodating.
Oh, great.
No,
All
that
right,
was
well,
nice.
you're the winner today. Well, not you. Your husband
Yes.
I will
is the
tell him.
winner.
Boy. And the fact that you're still married, that's impressive.
That is really
25
well,
years.
maybe 25 years.
Yeah.
5 years.
He's a glutton for
Oh,
punishment.
boy.
Wow. Too bad they didn't have Uber there. That would have been a nice Uber
That
trip.
would've- it
I
would've,
sent
yeah.
an
How
Uber.
many years ago was that, Ellen?
2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Fairly
Very
recent.
recent.
Yes.
Don't do that again,
Don't do
Ellen.
that.
No, I'm
right.
very traumatized
All right.
by automatic
well,
flushers.
Listen,
The whole
So
movie
every
there.
time you hear the automatic flusher, you're traumatized.
Oh, yeah.
I'm calling.
to shake.
I'm going to call the psychologist, ask if he has some help for that. All right, hold on. I'm going to tell you how to get your
Thank you.
husband's prize.
Well, you know, I can send it. We have all Ellen.
Oh,
Ellen's
okay.
a good customer of
All right,
mine.
yeah, but
so-
hold on because I'm going to tell you how. But the other tickets your husband can choose from.
All right, that's
great.
fine. And
Yeah,
give the
because he
information. We're
needs to
sending it
have
from the
something
office.
extra after
Yeah.
that.
For sure.
All right, Ellen,
Thank
thanks so
you.
much, and thanks for being a loyal customer to Paul.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Hold on.
They're a great company.
Great
Yes,
story.
I know
Thank you.
they are.
All right, so tell us, continue your story there.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt you in the story.
So what happens is there's not.
By the way, for people who just tuned in, we're talking about hot water and why it doesn't get to my kitchen in less than a half hour.
So that's one of the biggest questions I get from all of the customers. So it takes that long for the hot water with the low flow faucets we have now to get from the furthest end to your kitchen sink. And that's one of the biggest complaints that we have from
Can you
customers.
fix that?
You absolutely can fix it. So in today's new plumbing code, there's this thing called a hot water recirculation line. If you're a certain amount away, you have to put a recirculation line in. But they make aftermarket pumps that you can actually fix that for. It costs about $800 to $1,000 to do it. But understand this, Taylor. Taylor made a face if we want to know, like, that's expensive. I'm not paying
That hurt.
That hurt. But understand this. Number one is you're wasting water every time you turn
Absolutely.
on a
That annoys me more than anything.
Right. You're running your well pump every time.
Absolutely.
You don't do it.
That's
so
electric.
So if you get the hot water there, eventually you're saving money, and so it's not
Yeah,
bad.
you're right.
And it will work on the rest of your house.
What about the pressure?
I don't know why you don't have pressure. That's a lot
Zero
of reason,
pressure.
but that could be as easy as a little end on.
I think
the
somebody
faucet is
turned it
clogged.
down the last time.
Well,
we
it
had
gets
a
better
plumber-
pressure once it pumps the full amount into the
no,
bladder.
not
so
in the kitchen. You wouldn't
Oh,
know.
really?
You never. I don't think you've ever turned the water on in the kitchen.
I don't think I've ever been in the kitchen.
Yeah,
No.
it's make a left.
Well,
I'm in the bathroom all the time. What are you talking about?
right, exactly. They sure gave us to-go things last night. I would never be in the kitchen.
Exactly.
TMI.
I thought at the Taste of Warwick, if you're a sponsor, you get to go things. Then I would never have to go in the
Little
kitchen.
do you know.
Oh, God.
All right, Eileen, I never go in the kitchen. I got it. I was just a little note to my wife.
Yeah, and Frank doesn't either.
So a lot
he
of
would
folks-
have no idea about the pressure in the
No,
kitchen.
but a lot of folks have a lot of problems in their house, and they put up with it. But Paul, there's no reason to put up with it if it's a fix. If there's a fix, usually there's a fix for everything, right?
Pretty much now there is a fix for everything, and it's not that hard of a fix.
Now,
to
the
do
bathroom,
that.
the hot water pressure is fine.
Well, your kitchen pressure could be as easy as the strainer on your faucet is clogged, Taylor. That can be a very easy one.
You know,
That
and
one
what's
I
interesting
checked.
too is even with the shower, which literally is right next to the hot water heater, if you're the first one in there, it takes
A few minutes.
a
Yeah.
good 3 or 4 minutes before you start getting warm water.
Yeah, that's true.
We're gonna do a lot. One of my largest questions, and it's in here today, is about the new instant hot water heaters or the tankless hot
I've
water
heard
heaters.
that they are not such a good alternative.
Well, talking about this old house, originally when they first came out, this old house was always putting them up, and I got a lot of
Right.
calls from my customers, and we ended up having a lot of problems. And they are a good alternative. You just have to have an informed customer once you're putting it in. And literally, it's 10, 15 minutes for me. So we can do a whole, because that's one of the biggest questions I get. My customers always want to take out their water heater that leaks and put a tankless water heater in. And they work wonderfully in the right situation.
Is that only gas, or are they electric also?
They make electric, Frank, but they're way too expensive to run, and you would have to get an electrician in. So the right way to do them is gas.
Yeah, because I would assume you have to jack up that power to 240, 220, whatever.
Yeah, easily. And the electrics are not great. Point of use electric's fine. So like if you go into a gas station user, if you go in a gas station one step ahead of a porta potty, they have the little ones underneath the sink. Those little electrics that are 110 work fine, but a whole electric one does not. But the gas one work fantastically if you explain to the customer what you need.
Yeah, it's just, I think the important thing is to know that the plumber you're dealing with is reputable.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And is not going to rip you off. So we had an incident, I think I've spoken about this before, where this plumber came in and was a huge ripoff.
Yeah.
And it was like the last time we ever used him. So I'm really happy. I just called up and made an appointment to get our stuff. The only thing is Frank has to be there because he has his collectible car right next to that furnace.
Oh, we
and
despise that. No.
Nobody goes in that garage until that car comes out.
I had a customer tell me once, and we take pictures of everything, that we scratched his Porsche, which was when we were working on the air conditioning. And I didn't know how to handle it because I spoke to my guy. He said he never went by. They know that. But I paid to get it fixed because what are you going to do? So from now on, it has to be out. It has to be out.
And Frank wouldn't let you in there anyway.
No,
so.
I wouldn't want to go.
Why take a chance? Something can come off the furnace, a tool can scratch it. You never know, especially we're much closer. It's right there next to the furnace, so there's plenty of room right there in any case. So, you really should be careful, and it's just a precaution you take with pretty much anything.
Yeah, and we ask that now because I live and learn on everything.
Yeah, you're not going to have like a baby stroller, sitting there next to you. The baby's room is right here. Yeah, clean
I
that
don't
furnace.
think we're going to talk about a baby and a car in the same vein.
No. Well, it's
Okay.
my baby, so what can you do?
Oh, you're right. I agree with that. So.
We need another hour for Paul. We got to get Paul to do a weekly show because it's too good.
Yes, it is. All right,
It
so
really
Paul,
is.
Nebrasky Plumbing and Heating, if people would like we had a little fun today and a little bit informative out there, but I think the thing is if people have any plumbing questions, whatever they are,
heating.
call up
AC.
Paul and see if it's a fix that you can do, and if it's only a couple of bucks to fix it, fix the thing, and you're going to have a much happier homestead there and be very happy with everything. How can they get in touch with you?
It's 845 783-6661, or send me an email at info@nebraskyplumbing.com. And if something I can help you with, we'll email you back. We enjoy the
Yeah,
emails.
or go to
It's great.
NebraskyPlumbingandHeating.com.
All right. And next time you invite me on the night show, we'll talk about what Neil wants to hear.
I like to bring it down to the lowest level possible.
Neil is the king of the
So, hey,
bathrooms.
listen, so did a lot of my customers who email me, okay? So it's not a problem.